Hello, my name's Landon Schlungen, and in this video we're going to go through JQuery. Last time we went through Bootstrap, now we're going to go through JQuery, and JQuery is one of the many libraries for JavaScript. It was designed to simplify the way that we do JavaScript, and one of its most recognizable characteristics is its $sign syntax. Yes, and you'll see that shortly. So let's go on to the first lesson. Learn how script tags and document ready work. So to just get JQuery up and running, we have to do this. We have to take this $document.ready function and put it up here and make sure it's closed. And then inside of the function, we actually have to put a script tag above this. So we'll go script, and this is basically saying where our JavaScript is. And I think this goes inside of it. Yeah, okay, yeah. Because jQuery is JavaScript, basically, or it's used with JavaScript, and script tag is saying that this inside of it is JavaScript. So that's what we had to do for this one. And let's move on. Yep, target HTML elements with selectors using jQuery. For this challenge, we just want to add this to our document.ready function. So it's grabbing all of our buttons and it's giving it an animated bounce. And the way they do this is they first grab the jQuery library and the animate.css library in the background, so we don't have to add them in, but otherwise we would have to add that in ourselves. But yeah, we grab our buttons by specifying the button here, and then we add the class of animated bounce to it, and that's what it's doing. So it's taking our button and it's adding a class of animated bounce. So it's like animated bounce was here, and it does it for all of the buttons. So let's try that out. Yep, target elements by class using jQuery. So to target elements by class, we just have a dot in front of our selector. So it's a lot like selecting in CSS. In CSS, we use a dot. In jQuery, we also use a dot. So now it grabs all of the HTML elements that have a class of text primary, and it's giving them the classes of animated and shake. So let's see if we can see that again. And there it's shaking, and we can run it. We should actually do it to all of the ones with well. So instead of text primary, we'll do well here. And there we go. Now let's run it. Okay, there we go. Target elements by ID using jQuery. It's done with the hashtag. So again, same as CSS. We'll just add this line in, and instead of targeting target 6, we're gonna do target 3. And there target 3 fades out. So let's run that. Yep, delete your jQuery functions. All they want us to do is delete these 3 because they're annoying, and run it. Easy. Target the same element with multiple jQuery selectors. For this challenge, we'll grab our buttons, we'll grab our classes of buttons, and we'll grab our target 1, and we'll give them some different classes. So we'll start with button, we'll add the class to it of animated. Then we'll grab our classes of buttons, and we'll add a class to those of shake. And then we'll grab our target 1 by doing hashtag target 1 and adding the class button primary. So their target 1 turned blue, and they're shaking and they're animated. So let's move on. Yep, remove classes from an element with jQuery. This is done with the remove class method. For this challenge, we want to remove the button default class from all of our button elements. So we'll grab our button and we'll do remove class, our button default. Yeah, that's all we had to do for this one. Let's move on. Change the CSS of an element using jQuery. First, we'll delete all 4 of these, and we'll add a selector of target 1. So we'll grab target 1 here with hashtag target 1, and we'll do .css, and we'll make its color red. And there we go. Now its text color is red. Yep, disable an element using jQuery. This is done with prop, and then you add it in and say true on it. So we'll grab our target 1 and we'll do .prop on it, and we'll set disabled to true. And now it's disabled. I can't click on it. This is basically like saying disabled on one of these. See, now target 2 is disabled because I just added it into the HTML, but we can also do it with jQuery. Oh, also true shouldn't be a string. It should be just a Boolean of true. That was weird. It worked either way, but it's not passing the test. So now it should work. Yep, change text inside of an element using jQuery. This is done with .html on the element that you're selecting. For this challenge, we want to grab our target 4, and then we'll do .html on it to change the HTML inside of it. And we're gonna make its text emphasized. So we'll do our M tags here, and we'll just do target 4 and close it with an M tag. And now it's emphasized or italicized, and it should be good to go. Let's try it out. Yep, remove an element from jQuery. So this would be how we remove an element entirely off of the HTML. We want to remove the target 4 button. So I'll just copy one of these down, delete this, grab target 4, and do .delete on it. or dot remove, I mean. And there it's removed entirely. It's like it was never there. There we go. Use append to move elements with jQuery. If we wanted to move target 4 from our right well to our left well, we would grab our target 4 and append it to our left well. For this one, we want to grab our target 2 element and move it from our left well to our right well. So we'll grab our target 2 and then we'll append it to our right well. So hashtag right well. And there it moved over. Target 2 is now over here. So that should work. Yep, clone an element using jQuery. This is done with the clone method. And we want to clone our target 5 element and append it to our left well. So we'll start by grabbing our target 5 and then we'll do .clone on it and .append to. Where are we going to append it? We're going to append it to our left well. Make sure it's a string and we should be good to go. Now there's a target 5 here and a target 5 here. Yep, target the parent of an element using jQuery. The parent of an element would be the element that wraps around it. So in this case, the parent of this h4 element is this div class, or this div, and the parent of this div is this div. So that's what they mean by parent. And we want to give the parent of target 1. So the parent of target 1 is this well. We want it to have a background color of red. So we'll start with grabbing our target 1 and we'll grab its parent, which is that well, and we'll give it a CSS property of background color equal to red. And now its background color is red. Sweet, let's move on. Yep, target the children of an element using jQuery. So this is a like parent except with children. The children of this div is all of these inside of it. So that's what they mean by children. For this challenge, I'll just copy this over. And we want to make the children of our right well, so these 3 buttons, we want them to have a color of orange. So grab our right well and give them a color of orange. And now their text color is orange. Let's run it. Yep, target a specific child of an element using jQuery. This is done with the selector of nth child. So that's a lot like CSS as well. You can do this with CSS, although I don't tend to use it pretty much at all. So for this challenge, I'll just copy this over and we want to make the second child bounce. So I think that's all we have to do there, and let's move on. Yep, target even elements using jQuery. So this is done with the selector of odd or even. So I'll just copy this over for the challenge, and instead of odd, we'll make it even, and we should be good to go. Yep. Use jQuery to modify the entire page. This is done by grabbing the body and giving it classes. And obviously these classes, they only work because we have an animate.css link in the background. Otherwise we would have to add it in ourselves. Yeah, we'll just grab our body by copying this over. And we want it to have animated hinge. And there we go. Hinges over and falls off. And that should be good to go. Yep, there we're done with the jQuery challenges. Next up we have the Sass challenges. It's basically CSS on steroids. It just makes it easier to write our CSS. So I'm looking forward to doing that, and I'll see you next time. Bye.